What is the saddest fact you know that most people will not know? There's a recording of the last cow-I-oo bird singing before it went extinct. It was a mating call sung by a male bird. The song has breaks for the female bird to respond. There's no response because the male cow-I-oo is the last of its kind. About a third of people with epilepsy don't respond to meds. There's this thing called SUDEP, too, which is sudden unexplained death in epilepsy, where a person goes to sleep and just dies. The astronauts likely survived the Challenger explosion. They were falling for nearly 3 minutes. A successful marriage ends with watching your spouse die. What is your reaction when a man stares at your tits? I gesture upwards and tell them my eyes are up here. But as a guy in my late 30s that's developed some decent-sized tits, I have to take some of the blame. I usually just stare back at him. It's not like he's noticing though. Stare? You don't stare. You get a peek. It's like looking at sun. You get a sense of it, then you look away. Stare at his tits too to assert dominance? I think. Depends. If they're a stranger and look away or seem embarrassed when I notice them looking, then I think it's flattering. My chest has distracted me at times, so I get it. Blatant unapologetic staring after getting caught makes me nervous, though. What are some of the most dangerous hobbies people have? Cave diving is pretty dangerous. Not much is allowed to go wrong when you are hundreds of meters deep in kilometers of cave to swim until you are out of the cave. Even breathing too quickly is dangerous at those departments. Still haunted by the guy who squeezed himself through a narrow passage thinking it opened up but actually led to a dead end. In the end they couldn't get him out, so literally just had to leave him to die. Climbing tall buildings or parkouring across tall buildings. I got the trifecta here. Cave diver, motorcyclist, and up until recently, flew helicopters for a living. Wingsuit flying. Estimated 1 death for every 500 flights. As a nurse, 2 things come to mind. 1. Woodworking, turning. 2. Sticking things up the butt that aren't made to go there. Deleted by user. My wife and I were having sex. I was on top just humping away when she said, "Stop. Wait a minute." I said, "What's wrong?" And she said, "One of us has a booger whistling." I asked her if she wanted to have sex after it was getting hot and heavy on her bed. Thought it was more of a formality type question. She said no, which I said sorry that I was misreading the situation, stopped what I was doing, blah blah. Then after that she said she did want to have sex and just wanted me to ask again, playing hard to get. Thought it was super weird and totally ruined the mood for me. I didn't see her again. Was getting a blowjob and she threw up green beans all over my lap. What's the biggest sexual anti-climax you've had? First night hooking up my now GF. We were fooling around, and she was making noises. We started going at it pretty good, and she's making louder noises. Well, her dog wasn't too thrilled and bust in the room. I was on top of her, and the dog bit my ass. Mid-sex she moaned, "Fuck," really excitedly. For some reason I responded all breathy, "Yeah, that's what we're doing." We both busted out laughing for like 10 minutes. We couldn't get back into the mood, but we fell asleep happy. I ejaculated, coughed, and sneezed all at the same time and almost blacked out. Weirdest sensation ever, and one I hope I never repeat. Your nervous system control, Alt, deleted itself. Cowgirl bouncing up and down. Went to slap her ass and instead slapped my balls so hard I almost passed out.